usually goes back to Socrates and what we call Socratic dialectic and Plato. How Hegel manages to bring this word that's mainly known from Platonic philosophy. Dialectic is the method Socrates supposedly used to elicit truth, to encompass this new notion of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. You really would have to read all of Hegel to find out, and I am not going to become or make you the experts on Hegel or make you the experts on Hegel. But he is having, it's the spirit of the time, and it's just like, for instance, today, I don't know who would be an influential person today. I don't know if we have any more influential people. But who's that for 20 or 30 years ago? It was that linguist theorist at MIT who was Chomsky, who was really the last word in political and moral philosophy and so on. Or that, what's the fellow at Columbia University who died recently, who wrote the book on Orientalism, Edward Said and people like that. They still advertise them in the comp lit department here and so on. These become very a la mode thinkers, and they influence everybody in their time. So in a way, I guess Hegel is right on that score. But there are two individuals really that begin to appear in all of this. And I don't know if Rudowski has them front to back or back to front, but one of the first, I think the really first person is a fellow called Leopold Zunz. And then another contemporary, Nachman Krochmal. Again, Rudowski is your place for these people. That's why his book is really a unique book, because nobody really presents these important intermediate thinkers in this so-called historical school. They were friends. And Krochmal and Zunz, I think, both came from what's today is Romania. Galicia is an area of northern Romania, I think. So Krochmal's dates, once again, 1785 to 1840. Nachman Krochmal, 1785 to 1840. So I think we also have Zunz writing a book sort of aping Maimonides in a way. The Guide to the Perplexed of Our Time. Maimonides, back in the Middle Ages, is famous, you probably have heard of it, for a book called The Guide to the Perplexed. So these people are upgrading this. And all of these people are part of what is known or come to be known as the science of Judaism. Let us study Judaism like a science. Let us figure out what its intrinsic elements are. Let's not go helter-skelter the way Jacobson and his colleagues are running away with things in Germany. Let's see if we can apply some historical principles to the situation. Find out what the intrinsic elements are. I'm going to repeat this a little bit because most of these people are basically repeating the same idea, though they come out with different conclusions. What is intrinsic to Judaism? What can be moved ahead according to the zeitgeist? What is, I guess in Mendelssohn's language, what is not a necessary element, but more of a, what's the word he used? I forget the exact word that he used, but a secondary, what was it? He had a special word. Huh?
The imperative?
No, Mendelssohn used a different word. He was using an element that is
primary.
no, necessary element was primary. What he was talking about, non-primary elements. What is secondary? What is derivative, shall we say, or not a necessary. So in any case, these are the figures that emerge. For Krochmal, we need a historical approach to find out the essence of what Judaism was. And then they use the evolutionary process of Hegel to try to develop these essentials in a historical context. So all of them really had, to a certain extent, a disdain for the past, but this zeitgeist, if you want, should be the guiding motif to demonstrate what the plan and evolution of these principles should be. For instance, going again according to Krochmal, the Hebrew God should be looked upon as the embodiment of pure virtue and ethical perfection, and a universal principle that encompasses all nations. Okay, so that would be, to some extent, the kind of thinking we can get out of a Krochmal. And in Germany, parallel to these people like Krochmal and Zunz, we have an individual by the name of Geiger. Now, if you see, Lefty covers Krochmal on page 168. He talks about the Science of Judaism School on 170. He goes deeper into Krochmal's understanding of Judaism in 171 to 2, and then he starts moving into this Geiger individual, Abraham Geiger, 1810 to 1874. I don't see a development here. All these people seem to me to be contemporaries. So you have, if you in your essay write about this, you may be able to present a development here. I think a lot of it depends on how long these people live. Geiger lives from 1810 to 1874. The other figure that I mentioned, he gives quite a long analysis of Geiger here from page 173 to 177. And in chapter 8, for instance,